Hi, everybody, and welcome to the forum Resolve the Unsolved. Uh, we have been having this webinar consistently every Saturday, and we have got good responses from our friends in the industry, entrepreneurs, business promoters, and based on the requests which have been coming, we have been trying to focus our discussions around top focused issues. There were very important discussions going on around MSME, and we found that there was a lot of interest to understand what could be done in the current context, what should not be done, and how to go forward. So we decided to focus onto it, and we have kept the scope of the discussion quite large. We may be able to cover a small component of it today in the next 40-45 minutes. And welcome to the topic today, that is understanding the MSME ecosystem and its benefit. And when we say the MSME ecosystem, we are not talking about the MSME, it's a complete gamut under which the system operates or the company operates. So obviously there are different facets to it, different components to it. As we go ahead, we'll try to see how we address them. I'll not go too much into the depth of it. I will leave it to my other panelists to take it on. Let me introduce you to my two other panelists, Mr. Ravindra Goel and Mr. Ram Bhopal. Mr. Goel is the founder and promoter of Panacea eBiz. And some of you who know him, he comes with a rich
Voice.
Sandeep, your voice is gone.
You were muted, Sandeep. Somehow you got muted.
Hello.
Yeah. Yes, now it is better. It is getting muted.
Yeah.
Now it is.
Hello.
Yes, it is.
Right. Sorry. Some of you who know Mr. Goel, you must be familiar that he has been instrumental in implementing major skills programs across the country in the last 25 to 30 years. He has been enabling youngsters and empowering them with various industry skills with which they passed out and are fruitfully enjoying successful careers with various industries. Recently, he took on the initiative of launching various e-initiatives into the internet space. One of it is Panacea eBiz, and slowly he's taking it and giving it a shape. I would like to introduce you to Mr. Ram Bhopal. Mr. Bhopal is our guest speaker today. Mr. Bhopal is a CA and an ICWA and has a rich industry experience of 30 years plus, both as an independent entrepreneur and part of the corporate world. He has been associated with corporates like the ITC real estate business, Classic Golf Resorts, DTA Travel Services, and he is a promoter of Track India Private Limited. He has exposure of both national and the international market. He's a thought leader and a strategist and have implemented various financial reforms while heading strategical functions with various corporates. He has published some of his articles also, and currently he is working with certain organizations on restructuring and giving it a new direction. And specific to that, the travel industry is also involved as a critical part of it. To start off with, I would like to invite Mr. Goel to say a few words as we move on. Mr. Goel, please.
Thank you, Sandeep. Hello, entrepreneurs. I welcome you all in our 7th webinar on behalf of Panacea eBiz Consulting Group Forum Resolve the Unsolved. We are going through an unprecedented time of COVID. Probably the generation having experience of Spanish flu era 1918 to 1920 is all gone. For our generation, it is something we never thought of. Best of corporate minds, pundits, astrologers failed to predict such pandemic and as had no clues, no advice was given to their clients to prepare for such a devastating scenario. Nonetheless, our scriptures call this as a cycle of creation and destruction. Nature illustrates this as survival. Economics calls this as the market's invisible hand. In this crisis, MSMEs, micro, small, and medium enterprises have been hit the hardest. Lack of size, infrastructure, and ease of doing business, inadequate access to finance, high financing costs, and inflexible labor laws have always restricted MSMEs. Government e-marketplace set up in August 2016 for wider participation and increased transparency. The RBI increased liquidity and cut rates to support MSME financing. GST was a boon for law-abiding MSMEs as they could focus upon business. Trade deficit with China was on the way down since the 2018 peak. But COVID-19 disruption came before the fruits ripened. With 63 million MSMEs, we have several issues to tackle. There is no one-size-fits-all solution for MSMEs. Various initiatives were announced by the government. Surely, the government tried to hit at the root of the problems of cash flow and borrowing costs by announcing various credit guarantee schemes. While credit guarantee schemes will help in establishing MSMEs during the crisis, there is need to continue on the path of reforms. Focus should be on replacing Chinese imports, liberalization of land, labor and capital laws to reduce cost of compliance and improve ease of doing business. There is a dire need to aim to support our entrepreneurs to build globally competitive businesses, create jobs and increase wealth for the nation. Today we have Mr. Ram Bhopal with us, who is an enterprising leader, a turnaround specialist with 34 years of professional excellence. He'll be sharing some macro details on MSc registration and its benefit. I request all of you to put forward your queries in chat box along with your name and mobile number. After the session is over, we will try to answer as many queries as possible. In case you have some queries later, you can post your queries at questions@panaceaebis.com. I thank you for listening me. Request Sandeep to take this further now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Goel. Thank you very much. Mr. Bhopal, it's over to you. Please, it's your time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sandeep and Mr. Ravinderji. Thank you very much for inviting me. I am really delighted to be part of this entrepreneurs group and professionals group. And I would like to share my thoughts with all, discuss with the experts, the thought leaders, everybody on the forum, and for mutual benefit and growth. Today's topic that we are discussing is understanding the MSME ecosystem and its benefits. So before we go forward, let us understand what does an ecosystem mean, because we need to understand what we are talking of. Ecosystem, plain dictionary meaning, means an interconnected system. A system where there are subsystems, multiple players, and multiple elements which
Mr.
affect
Bhopal, if
each
you can
other.
speak louder, please. Speak
Yeah,
loud.
I will. Thanks, Andy. So as I was saying, ecosystem simply means an interconnected system, and every component of it is interconnected in one way or the other, and they are all therefore affecting each other as well. Similarly, every business unit, including an MSME business unit, is therefore also a part of a large interconnected system, which I am referring to here as the ecosystem of MSME. So MSMEs, like any other business, are always dependent and for some factors and due to some factors and by some factors, which is basically put in one terminology called the ecosystem. So when we are talking of an ecosystem, without going into the technicalities, first I would like to define what an MSME is. Okay. in the new 2020 amendments that have been made post COVID in the announcements by the FM, all the categorization has been made very simple. And first of all, the major difference was there is no difference now between a service industry and a manufacturing unit. Both the units are clubbed under same category based on their turnover and the investment involved. They are categorized as either micro, small, or medium enterprises. So a micro enterprise would be a typically below 1 crore of investment, and turnover should be around below 5 crores. The moment you cross it, then you can come to a small unit, which is 10 crores of investment and 50 crores of turnover. And medium units would be 50 crores of investment and 250 crores of turnover. This is the basic definition so that we know what kind of entities we are talking of and what all entities we are talking of. But here I would like to mention that it may seem a small entity or a medium by the name micro, medium, or small. But if you see the entire impact on the overall industry or the sheer numbers that we are talking of, is really, really very huge. Not only in India, and definitely we are talking of India. So India is being a democratic country and a free economy. India is definitely leading the way. But even internationally, in every country or global level, maybe it is the MSMEs which are in numbers much more than the large or the large entities. So just to give a like Mr. Goyal was just mentioning, as we speak today, as per the government figures, there are about 6.33 crores, which is 63 million individual MSME units in the country. But mind you, this is only the registered MSMEs and on the government system. So the last survey that kind of a census that the government of India had done in 2006 and 7, when MSME Act was enacted and a special ministry was created for this. As per those figures, government of India estimated that only 5% of the total MSMEs are actually registered in India. So we are talking of individual units of say 60 crores or whatever. It seems sometimes to me also when I first encountered this figure, I thought that it is wrong. But actually, when we talk of micro, there are many units which are run by a family, a husband and wife, or just one assistant with them, or one person with two assistants. So therefore, the entire gamut, if you see, is more than say 50, 60 crores as per the government figures. It could be less because maybe in 2006, because of not so much of internet penetration and all, maybe the development, economic development, maybe more people, more units have got now registered which were not registered earlier. So even if you take that 5% to be 10 or 15% in the last say 15 years or 20%, the figure is at least five times the actual the registered MSMEs. So we are talking of this kind of a numbers and the impact they have. That is also very significant on the economy. Out of the total, if you talk of number of business units, whether it is service or manufacturing, number of business units, if you consider, 95% of all the business units are MSME only in India. Only the 5%, plus minus 1 or 2%, or 5% of the total manufacturing and service units are actually beyond these categories, which is 250 crores turnover and above, and or 50 crores above investment, and they are all considered as large. Of course, in that also you will have various categories, small, medium, and large in the large category also. But MSME contributes or constitutes 95% of the total numbers in the country. In terms of impact on the economy, about close to 50% of total employment is contributed by MSME. 50% of direct exports is contributed by MSME. But I would like to highlight one more thing. When we talk of 50% of exports, that is only the direct exports done by the MSMEs on their own IEC numbers. So if you actually consider the indirect exports in terms of the large buying houses and large export companies, trading companies who source material from MSMEs and then rebrand and do contracting and then export, that would be much higher than the 50% export figure that we are talking of. So the in a nutshell, we say that the impact, though if I am considering myself as an MSME entrepreneur or a consultant, because as a consultant I am also an MSME in the service sector. So as a individual unit, I may seem or mean insignificant or too small in the entire picture, but collectively it is a very huge network, and all, as we defined earlier or we understood earlier, everybody is part of a same ecosystem. Hello, everybody is part of the same ecosystem, and therefore directly or indirectly, whether we are in the same industry or not, we are all interconnected. So I would like to now, once the definition is over, we've understood. Yes.
Interrupt you.
Yeah, please go ahead.
It's better
Please.
hold the mic because
Ha, acha.
very clear.
Now it is better?
Yeah,
Better.
Okay, sure. So I would like to now go to the next understanding of the ecosystem itself. According to my understanding, is that any ecosystem, like for an MSME, for example, I have, for better understanding, I am saying it is a layered system. There are 6 or 7 layers in which we can understand what the ecosystem is and how it is affecting and who are the uh, participants in that ecosystem, so that we understand the overall picture. The first level, according to me, is the entrepreneur himself and his family. That is the starting point, that is the dot, that is the zero from where the entire story starts. Then the second level is his business idea, the idea which comes into his head, and he has the courage to take up that idea and implement that idea and go ahead and fulfill his dreams or achieve growth, whatever his personal objectives are. Then the third level is the important internal business stakeholders, which is the staff, the customers, and the suppliers. All of them are equally important. Then you have the fourth level, where we have the supporting stakeholders, for example, the bankers, the funding agencies, if any. If it is not only funded by banks, for example, in the earlier seminars I saw, there was a funding or finance evaluation methods, etc., explained. So there must be some, if there are any funding agencies, they are also very important, and they are becoming more and more important as we go forward, because they are also taking keen interest in the management and professionalizing, etc., etc. Then the fifth level is the various systems of the government. Government, because of the sheer size and its importance, and these are when we talk of these 6.3 crores and the overall maybe about 40-50 crores or 30-40 crores and all, actually why government is interested is actually it is touching the lives of these many people directly. These are the direct stakeholders, and as consumers, if you see, or as suppliers may again be part of MSME, but as staff and as your product users, consumers and all, if you see, it actually affects almost everybody, or at least 70-80% of the population. Therefore, the government is very much interested that this industry is also regulated, this a proper system is provided, since the micro level single entrepreneur, individual driven companies do not have the competency and capability of that of a professional organization. They are protected, they are encouraged, promoted. This is the government has a stake in it. Government is directly has a vested interest in supporting this industry. So what government has, the various governments over the period have done is, they have the most important part is government has a separate ministry for MSME, so that there is a focus at the cabinet minister level and it is driven accordingly. Second point, most important, what the government has done is it has exclusively created a bank called SIDBI, Small Industrial Development Bank of India, which is only dealing with loans and financial support to MSMEs. There is nothing else. Similarly, there are some other institutions which I'll come to later. And so the support of the bank that we can be categorized again into taxation and regulation. There are so many tax benefits, direct and indirect, to MSMEs. Then there are government has made specific policies to protect the interests of the MSMEs vis-a-vis the large organizations, whether it comes to the procurement, whether it comes to payment delays, etc. The government has actually enacted laws which help or protect the small entrepreneur. Then promotion and incentivization. Similarly, government has also made schemes of promoting. As an individual having a small company, I may not be able to go to a Dubai or a London trade fair to showcase my products, whereas a large company has that advantage. So government has created an infrastructure through their appropriate trade bodies and FICCI, CII, ITPO. There are so many other direct ministry does so many Incredible India and such other trade shows abroad. So to the extent of, in some cases, it is to the extent of 75% subsidization of the total cost of participation and travel. So the government has one, tried to regulate by registering everybody on the MSME portal and bringing them on one platform, then given them protection and promotion facilities and facilitate their promotion. In fact, one very important thing that comes to my mind is in case a large organization owes some money to me as an MSME and my terms of payment say 30 days or 45 days. So beyond that, if there is a delay of 45 days, the large company by law has to make me payment with 3 times the bank rate of interest. It is in the law. So when there is law is written like that, then I am empowered to claim and then negotiate accordingly. So these are direct benefits that the government or the system ecosystem is providing me. Okay. Now coming to so I was in the midst of the various levels that I was discussing. So the government is at the fifth level, providing these infrastructure and facilitation mechanisms. Then at the sixth level, so to say, is the macro environment. Macro environment again can be understood as one in different parts. For example, an industry specific environment. If I am in travel, if I am in software, so every industry has got its own developments, international developments, trends, what are happening, consumer behavior, geographies that are affected. Similarly, geographic development, state-wise policies, what is happening, that also gets affected, that affects my business. The national economic and other factors, which is all obvious. And now after the pandemic, we've all, earlier we used to think maybe if there is a nuclear war, only then international things will affect my business, if it is a war with any country. But pandemic has shown that it is a soft war or whatever, for want of a better word, that everybody's business and everybody's lives have got affected because of the pandemic. And we are all aware, and it is not that it is happening for the first time. As Mr. Goel said, 100 years back it was there, and maybe smaller versions have had impact in regional areas over the last 10, 20 years, 30 years. We can see that. So the macro environment, the international macro environment, is also as important, and it is directly affecting our businesses, which the realization of which is coming to us more and more in the COVID environment. Okay, so the government has regulated many of these stakeholders. For example, the staff also, there are exemptions towards ESI, PF for small entities. For customers also, you have very small entity, you don't have GST, etc. So government has tried to support the MSMEs on various levels. And the major things, major impacts that I can think of other than the normal business impact is that government through its SIDBI and the ministry has done some preferential tendering processes. I can tell you many people don't know if there are certain tenders in the government which if I as an MSME and another category A or large category company is applying, and if the uh, difference between the L1 is not more than 15%. So if I have quoted say 115 rupees or 113 rupees and a large entity has quoted say 100 rupees, then by law the government agency is obliged to give me an option to match L1 if it is within 15%. If it is more than 15%, it is not obliged. But within 15%, it is obliged to give me an offer. It is for me to accept or reject it. So this is, for all businessmen, I think we can understand how great an advantage it is the ecosystem is providing us, that 15% or say 10% or 5% in which sometimes we lose our tenders. However, it will not apply if the other person L1 is an MSME himself, then it may not apply, but it will apply for all large organizations. So similarly, I just mentioned earlier, if there is a delay in payment from a large organization, they have to pay 3 times the bank rate of interest. Recently, it is still under implementation. It has been implemented theoretically, but it is not, the success has not come yet. It is the TREDS scheme, which is the trade receivables e-discounting scheme, wherein if I have personally not tested and checked whether things are happening and money is coming in, but as per the system that the government has implemented, if I have, for example, against a BHEL or a public sector organization, an invoice pending of a few lakhs or a few crores, and it is payment is due, for example, then on TREDS, I can just, first I'll have to register. And if BHEL is also, I'm just throwing an example, it could be any public sector organization. And if BHEL is also registered and they have uploaded, they are obliged to upload that bill on the TREDS system, then the government has linked other financial institutions and banks to intervene and discount it on behalf of the public sector. On behalf, instead of you going to your bank, commercial bank, and requesting for a discounting, this is a government mechanism wherein the various intermediaries are also registered on the panel, and they can discount it, and after that there is no responsibility. Of course, as discounting happens, it is the responsibility of the financing agency to collect it from the public sector. So such schemes have all been there. Yeah.
एक सेकंड.
Yeah.
हेलो
Hello.
संदीप
Yes.
जी, ये मेरा इंटरनेट खराब हो रहा है या मेरा बार बार डिस्कनेक्ट हो रहा है या कनेक्शन में प्रॉब्लम है?
मेरे
I
को तो
think
सब दिख रहे हैं.
there is some local problem
नहीं नहीं,
because
आप मेरे भी लो.
मेरा continuously चल रहा है सर.
अदरवाइज ठीक है. अच्छा, अदरवाइज ठीक है ना.
अच्छा.
तो
हाँ.
मैं देखता हूँ अपने, मैं
तो आपका डिस्कनेक्ट होके कनेक्ट हो रहा है बार बार.
करता फिर कनेक्ट हो जाता है ऑटोमेटिक, फिर अपने आप हो जाता है वापस.
तो मुझे लगता है
आप यू कंटिन्यू, आई जस्ट.
हाँ, वो मेरे ख्याल से जूम का प्रॉब्लम है. कई बार जूम में प्रॉब्लम होती है, उसकी वजह से ऐसे होता है,
ठीक है, मैं
क्योंकि वो ऑटोमेटिकली रिबूट कर देता है.
सॉरी फॉर इंटरप्शन.
नो प्रॉब्लम सर, नो प्रॉब्लम.
यू कैरी ऑन.
या संदीप.
Mr. Gopal, I think like you mentioned a couple of very, very important points. If you can spend right now a couple of minutes on the taxation benefits or the things which we are talking about, right?
Yeah, I am coming to that. So, with regard to taxation, in the latest income tax amendments, there are various categories of choices given actually. We can claim certain benefits under various subsections of 115, wherein as a corporate entity, this is for corporates basically, as a corporate entity, where for a domestic company, if the taxation is 30% standard, so if under various sections, it can become 25, it can become 22, and it can become 15 also. based on certain terms and conditions, and it is primarily or for example to conceptually, if you say, if it is the MAT advantage which is being given, okay, and you are not allowed to then adjust your past losses, etc. There are certain conditions. So this is one advantage of direct taxation. And similarly, but in the registration level for whether trademarks or certification, all these things also, there are a lot of subsidies that are given. In the latest what is it called? Startup India. Startup India program of the government. You are also allowed to claim a 3-year tax break. Means you don't have to pay a single penny tax in 3 consecutive years in a period of 10 years. And the registration must be, the company should have been, the unit should have been registered after April 16. So all units which are registered or started functioning after April 16 can avail this. But again, logically, it is through a proper formal process of registration and fulfilling those conditions. So this is the second very big advantage. So if you are and the most attractive part in this is the 3 consecutive years which I can choose. So for example, if I've started an entity, I know I may not be earning big profits in the first 2, 3, 4 years. So I can choose maybe when I am ready, when I'm actually kicking in profits, maybe 5th year, 6th year, 7th year, or 8th, 9th, 10th year, which by when I think my profit should be the highest. So I have the option of choosing the tax break in those 3 years. So this is the direct income tax benefit that we have. While so it is one taking full advantage or benefits of all these schemes of the government is perfectly possible. First and foremost, you have to register yourself, which is also very simple. You just have to have an Aadhaar card and a PAN number, and you can register yourself. It takes a few minutes and is free of cost. That is the first step. But after that, understanding all the provisions, understanding everything, the entrepreneur, if he is individual and the staff is not competent enough, they may hire consultants and take external help to do that, and it is perfectly possible. And all these benefits put together actually support you to build the business. They will not give you the business, but they will support you to build your business to the next level. However, having said that, if you want to actually take full advantage of these benefits, then I would refer to all the earlier 3-4 seminars that we have had, okay, which are very important. You cannot avail or take full benefits of the entire system. When I say entire system, there are certain systems which I may not be able to avail in the first year, or when I am at a few lakhs of turnover. It may not even make sense. Okay, so so if you want to take the entire gamut of advantages, you have to keep growing, and along with upgrading yourself. So keeping, as I just said, taking outsourcing help. That is primarily because if you are not able to retain and manage your key employees properly, which is very important. If you do that, maybe you don't need to outsource. You can do or take all the benefits yourself. Then you should have a growth mindset. Then you scale up your business through all the infrastructure of social media that is available. You can basically, the right people is important, and your mindset is very important. It cannot just happen that you run your business and outsource the entire ecosystem to somebody and somebody will do it. You yourself have to do it, for which you have to upgrade yourself. The entrepreneur himself has to upgrade, his staff has to upgrade, his systems have to upgrade. Like I was just discussing with Sandeep some time back, a classic example, for example, if I am a product or a retailer, for example, anything you can take. Okay, I am the expert in creating a product and selling it. So there is a technology, there is a mindset, there is a skill set that is required to reach the first 1 lakh sale or first 1 crore sale. Whereas if I use the same technologies and same methods for the next 1 crore, it may not happen. And I may fall flat. And I will think what has happened. Maybe kismat kharab hai, what has happened. But there you need to do the extra upgrading yourself. Maybe hand holding is required from experts. So that is in the ecosystem. If you want to take the entire advantage of the ecosystem, you have to upgrade, as they say, learn, unlearn, and relearn yourself, and then upgrade. And when you say yourself, it is as the entity, as the employees, as your auditors, as your consultants, as your bankers. Maybe you'll have to change your bankers. Maybe you're taking NBFC financing. You have to go to regular financing. Maybe they're all ideas. So most important part, according to me, is the upgrading of the infrastructure within the system is also as important as the upgrading of the overall ecosystem itself. That will anyway, it is not in our hands, and it will keep continuing. But the main advantage be taken by people who grow with the organization themselves, in the sense not only financial terms, but in terms of personal growth. Make professional systems. After a level, maybe I would require an ERP system. Maybe I would require a software. Maybe I have to access some existing websites or whatever, which should be automatic. All these things are necessary. As we were discussing, my personal experience in my consultancy business is that I have seen many MSMEs, many companies which grow to a level, okay, say from 0 to 10 crores they achieve on their own. They are very confident and they don't need any help to reach that. Any help meaning the business help. But beyond that, a small example, being a chartered accountant, I'll give you a small example. Compliance with all acts, whether it is TDS, GST anyway is automatic, but in the earlier environment I'm talking of, the TDS laws, the service tax laws, the PF, ESI, Minimum Wages Act, for example, all these compliances are not, I would say, they are important, but they are not given so much focus by small entities. But as you grow, if you continue your ignorance towards those compliances, and you feel like we have in India, we say, yaar, sab chalta hai, sab chal jayega, we will manage everything. When the moment comes, we'll hire a consultant who will fix things for me. So this mindset has also to change over a period of time, and you have to upgrade yourself, make more compliant, because all the banks that are being associated with you are watching you. For example, if you go to any bank for a new loan, they'll say, sir, hum to unko dete hain jo 3 saal se hamare paas hai, or people who have regular income tax returns. So all these things are become more and more important as we go forward. So to take full advantage of the ecosystem, you have to first change yourself, upgrade yourself and your own system. And of course, the overall ecosystem is always there with you. And it is neutral. It is neutral to everybody. We can talk of corruption or whatever, but we must make the first step, and then we'll see. Maybe everybody will not be successful, but it is a good system which can be accessed.
Right. I think Mr. Gopal was great. Like you pointed out quite a few things. In fact, what I noted down was the layers which you mentioned.
Yes.
In the MSME, the 6 layers which you mentioned are very critical to any business structures. And as we are talking in the morning, it's very important that as the business grows from 1 crore to 10 crore to 50 crores, from micro to mini or small, these transitions has to be very, very intricately focused by the entrepreneur.
Correct.
And changes to be brought in. And as you rightly pointed out, government does have systems in place, like 2-3 points which you mentioned, like about the exemptions. I was aware of it, not completely. It's a wonderful thing for 3 years as such. And understanding the MSME ecosystem, because the MSME supports the larger organizations, as we're talking about it.
Correct.
Be it any company, to be distributing, to be expanding, the MSME has to be there. So it is not with or without. MSME is an integral part of the larger economic environment. So there is no question of it. At this point, Mr. Goel, you've been an entrepreneur yourself. across different businesses. Okay, I think you must be able to add some very important facets or points at this juncture when we're talking about MSME, and you are starting up a new one also.
You see, Sandeep, it is more towards what approach you have started your business with. When
Okay.
you go with the plant structure and you start with 5 years or 10 years in mind, probably then I believe that you focus on your agenda, the core objective of making the business profitable and scaling up to a height you thought of. But parallelly, along with that, as uh, Ram has spoken about it, like you can hire consultants or like you can develop your in-house team. Whatever is available, we must not miss those opportunities. That is the core subject I could feel from the Ram's discussion. Like yes, when you're focusing on your agenda, but if you have a lot of facilities and loans or maybe infrastructure available from the government side, one must avail. It will definitely help the entrepreneur in probably the scaling up his business or maybe aligning more facilities or expanding its reach. So yes, that's very true. Like there are, as he said, that lakhs and lakhs of MSMEs are not registered. So that basically makes government also less competent in terms of delivering or reaching out to them. And those people are also probably keep cribbing that government is not helping us. But one need to understand that until unless you are aligned in the system or you
Yes.
take a step from your own side, government will not be able to reach to you.
Very true.
Sir, I would like to add
Please.
on what Mr. Goel was saying.
Please.
As we were discussing again in the morning, uh, um, it is being part of this registration and taking advantage of these benefits that are available on the system is not only an intrinsic benefit to my business per se, that definitely is there, but from a consulting point of view, I am saying, if I go to a bank, for example, I'll give you an example. Situation A is I am not registered, and for the last 10 years, I have done everything on my own with my own whatever learning, learning, everything, but nothing is recorded as to how I grew over these periods. However, on the situations B, wherein I am another businessman who has been part of the entire system and I have taken advantages all along. So my data is captured by the government on various systems, whether it is SIDBI, whether it is a Companies Act or whatever facilities I have taken, export incentives if I have taken, ITPO if I have taken, everything is recorded. So if from a fundraising point of view, if I if I compile my file in the situation B and say this is my history where I have taken all these advantages and I've attended London and UAE exchanges and all these trade fairs, etc. Everything is recorded. I don't have to prove to anybody that I am saying the truth. So that is a very big advantage that we can avail.
Yeah, right. And exactly this is the MSME
Objective.
ecosystem. This
Correct.
ecosystem.
Correct. Correct.
So most of the time, as we have seen, as Mr. Goyal also pointed out, and Ram as we pointed it out, structuring everything within the system will help automatically every and each entity as it grows and takes the next step forward. It is very, very important.
Yes.
And we have already experienced and seen people who are running small operations at the click of the button from a laptop nowadays who are registered in MSME are comfortably taking advantages, benefits of bidding, financials, approaching PSUs, working it out without having to run around to push things across. And it is happening. And it's a very, very strong ecosystem itself,
Yes.
which is there. And I think it should be taken up, and it's a very, very critical part. Mr. Goyal, you wanted to say some words on this?
I think we have some people who might be interested in raising some queries.
Okay, so shall we open it up?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can unmute. Anybody has any questions, can either put it down in the chat or... Yes, Mr. Sharda, do you have something? If you can unmute, you are not... Mr. Sharda, you are on a mute. If you can unmute, please.
It's okay now?
Yes,
Can you hear?
okay now.
Mr. Ram, thank you very much for the nice lecture you gave. I just wanted to know how to, whether the government is helping MSMEs to raise capital.
Yes.
Have you, can throw some light on that?
First of all, capital meaning.
Sorry, I just heard from, I was attending a webinar. That they said that even MSMEs are not very large, but small, some numbers, they are approaching to capital market as well.
Yes, yes. Both BSE and NSE
Yes,
have their
yes.
own plans. Okay, if you, matlab, it is, you can even raise, theoretically, you can even raise 5 crores or 1 crore also on the NSE and
Yeah.
BSE, which we don't think it is possible. We think it is hundreds of crores only. And in fact, this again, that ecosystem of fundraising, both BSE and NSE do the hand holding from day. Today, for example, if you approach, they have a specific team for this.
Yes.
Okay, SME, what is it called? BSE online exchange for SMEs or something like that. Both NSE also has that. And what they do is, if you approach them today, you just send a mail and talk to them, the manager there. They will do the hand holding and they will make a chart out your strategy for the next 2 years, 3 years, and help you out to go to market.
So
That is going to market. But funding from other methods also, definitely, as I said just now, by availing these benefits on the ecosystem, you are preparing your file. Okay, that file is becoming stronger and stronger as you are availing all the benefits, and of course repaying them on time and
yeah, that's
meeting
right.
your
Because they have a
objective.
different set of rules.
Yeah.
To some extent, they have a different set of rules as compared to the normal capital market where
Yes.
large companies are.
Yes. 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 There are.
Right. Right.
Yeah. But then, okay. Thank you.
You can share your requirements on the mail and we
Yeah.
will be able to address it, Mr. Shada, as we go. Do we have anybody else who has any queries?
Mr. Murli raised his hand, so I think Mr. Murli must be for something.
Hello. Yes, please.
Murali.
Yeah.
Hi. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
you're
you
audible.
are.
Please. Please.
Hi, how are you? How are you, Sandeep, Mr.
All
Goel?
fine. All fine. All fine.
Good, good. Mr. Ram, this is Murli from Cochin, and I've been been attending this webinar for right from. I've been the second session onwards. I have a small question, which is probably directly not related to MSME, but probably within coming that. Now we're talking about a lot of business model moving into e-commerce, 100% e-commerce. Even small industries or the buying and selling. Where does the Indian government is in terms of giving support in terms of making a business model out of e-commerce? I'm not talking about the Flipkarts or Amazon or those kind of things. Making a business model something close to a network marketing. So is it? I know that there are a lot of regulations being in discussion or been approved so far, but in real terms of implementation in the Indian market, I see a lot of disparities. Particularly a state like Kerala is highly sensitive because obviously I'm into training and development. I'm going into online training, e-commerce, what do you call e-learning. But I'm little interested in those platforms which probably in the future will be open up in the Indian market in terms of creating a profitable model using this something very close to affiliate marketing. Where do you see that in Indian scenario right now?
I have myself seen certain plans or certain policies of the government, and just give me a moment, I'll find out the exact name. There are certain schemes wherein if you are wanting to innovate, which is for example for a travel industry who is doing I'm coming back to travel because I've been in travel, doing an offline business, wants to go online, which is technology upgradation and innovation. Government has a scheme wherein government gives you subsidy also for that, for making your own system. Okay, hooking on to the what do you say, to the big suppliers, maybe Infosys and all. If there are, but there has to be plan from your side, and that is one part. Okay, but generally, of course, just by increasing this 50 crores to 250 crores, the turnover is primarily, as I am told or as I understand, is primarily to include small entities which are going online, because the moment you go online, your turnover jumps suddenly. Okay, whether you earn profit or not,
Right,
your turnover jumps. And what was happening is everybody is
Correct.
going that route. Everybody is becoming digitally educated and
Mr.
digitally. Hello.
It's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay.
So digitally, they're taking their business digital. Therefore, government has done, one is that technology support is there, and second is this turnover increase by which you remain in the MSME segment and avail all the benefits.
Okay, fine.
What we can
Great,
do is we
great.
can share with you a specific process through which it is happening. Post this, Mr. Murli,
Okay.
I think that will
Yeah,
help.
yeah, that will really help because some
Sure.
access to some access
Sandeep,
to
can I
system
ask you a
improvement.
question? My name is Vinod Bansal.
Please, Mr. Bansal, please.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ram, I've been listening to all the details which you have been putting across. Actually, I'm Ravinder's friend, so I mean, I just happened to be here
Right.
today. So, very informative, I think, talk which you have given us. I simply wanted to understand. See, whatever you've been telling, it's coming in a very scattered manner. You see, in the sense that I mean, let us say you have some benefits on if in case you are to be funded, you have some benefits if in case you have to go for some PSU tenders. You see, you've been detailing everything. But is there any one platform on which the entire system of all these advantages which have been given to MSMEs, it's available? You
Yes.
see, because it's very difficult otherwise to find all the information on one platform. So
Yes.
that's
Yes,
what
the
I want.
information is available, Mr. Vinod. Thanks for your question. Information is available at one place, but the executing agencies are different. SIDBI is different. Okay.
Understood. I simply
CGTMS,
wanted.
I forgot to mention the CGTMSE, MSE. That is
Yeah.
the most important step that the government has taken, collateral-free loans. On our behalf, government is giving guarantee. Of course, we are paying for the premium. So if you go to msme.gov.in, which is the main portal,
msme.gov.in.
gov.in, every policy is mentioned there. Every policy.
So that's what I wanted to know. Of course,
Yeah.
I mean, if in case they are to be implemented, they are to be executed, and how exactly
Yes.
they are, then
You
of
need
course,
expertise.
like
Yeah.
you will be there to help out.
Yes. Yes.
And this thing, but
Definitely.
at least the basic information should be available to us. Yeah,
Correct. And
thank you.
and
Well
it is
said. Wonderful.
important because you are the entrepreneur and you need to see which policy will affect you most.
Yeah, great.
So therefore, everything is
Absolutely.
available on the site.
Very informative. I wish I would have attended a couple of your earlier webinars, but nevertheless, probably I'll request Ravinder maybe to organize one in the subsequent days.
Sure.
Thank you, Ravinder, for organizing it. Thank you, Sandeep.
Thank you,
Wonderful.
Mr. Bansal. Thank you.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
for being with us today.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Yashi here.
Yes,
It was really very informative webinar today. I just wanted to say that the e-commerce model, would that be shared with us also? Like, is there any way, can I leave my mail ID or something like that?
please do. You can leave your email ID. What we'll do is we'll try and share with you the initial structure and the base structure to help you out on the e-commerce part.
Okay.
That is
Okay.
what you wanted, Yashi?
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
We have
We'll do that.
ID, which is question@paniciaibis.com. Please share your details and what you are looking at. So we'll respond back to that definitely.
Surely, sir. Surely. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Do we have any more queries? I don't see anything for on the chat.
I actually don't have a query, but I have a feedback if you permit me.
Please, Mr. Gupta.
I am a advocate on record with Supreme Court, and what interested me to participate in this is because I extensively practice recovery of payments of MSMEs under the MSME Act, which is a very important segment. Somehow that was not touched, or maybe it was outside the scope for today.
Okay.
What I wanted to tell you is you are doing a wonderful job, and as a consulting firm, if you highlight, see, it's a 2006 Act. It's been there for 14 years, but its awareness is minimal. People are still going the old route of filing civil suits for recoveries, which is filed in one generation, and till the next generation takes over the business, it doesn't get resolved. So I'm only requesting you as a fellow professional that please spread awareness on the benefits of safeguard of payments of MSMEs, which is given in the MSME Act 2006. It's a wonderful piece of legislation, and if people will come to know, they will register it and they will invoke it rightly. And in such COVID times, when it is not only the business that is going to be the challenge, but also the recovery of payments for the past business and the future business. And government has already taken away the insolvency route. They have hiked up the limit from 1 lakh to 1 crore, and the COVID period has been exempted again. So it's going to be a challenge to maintain cash flows. And instead of everybody becoming more and more dependent on the funding and ultimately becoming a more critical borrower, I will only say that we also need to safeguard the business of MSMEs. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for your input. And I think it's a very, very important point which you mentioned, Mr. Gupta. Thank you for sharing it.
Sandeep,
and we will surely take your feedback and take it forward. Yes, Mr. Goyal.
there is one query from Mr. Vijay.
Yeah.
Ram, you can just open up the chat.
Yeah. If by definition my entity is an MSME, do I have to still go ahead and register? If so, where? Yes, you will have to register, Vijay. Thanks for your question. It is on MSME portal. That is the basic, and you have to have a PAN number and an Aadhaar card. That's all. And it just takes a few minutes. It's free of cost. So unless and until you register, then you're part of that 90% of unregistered MSMEs. So you will not be able to take any benefit under any act or any scheme of the government. You have to have this MSME registration that is compulsory on msme.gov.in.
Thank you. Thank you. I think we are through. There are no more queries, Mr. Goyal?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So we are 4:02. So I'd like to wrap up today's session. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining. In fact, we got a lot of valuable inputs today also. And we promise that in the coming webinars, we'll try and address more of the feedbacks which we have been receiving.
Yes.
And we'll try and provide information and services as required. Thank you for participating. Have a nice weekend. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Goyal. Thank you, Ram.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you.